Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cindy.
And we're here with another feeding frenzy for the 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Edwin Gaines, a simple guide to unlimited abundance.
Wow, like a real pro.
I did, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Chapter 8.
Chapter 8.
That was very good.
We were talking about...
Well, we talked about the go signal.
Stop
signal. And now we're talking about second force.
Second force.
What is second
That
force?
sounds like we need... Second force. Dun-dun-dun.
That was a good example of a second force.
There was, wasn't it?
It was. See, when you try to do something and something gets in the way, it's an obstacle that shouldn't be there and that you can plow through. So how do you tell the difference between a second force and a stop?
I was just getting ready to ask you the same thing. For me, a stop signal is a definite. I get no's everywhere I turn. It doesn't matter what I try and do. I don't have the energy to pour into it. I can't find another way around it. I'm not able to plow through it. There's no, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finding another open window with it. Mm-hmm. For me, I know that's a stop. It's not mine to do.
Okay.
A second force, for me, usually gives way as soon as I push a little harder.
Okay.
Then the universe usually lines in up behind it. So then I know, okay, then that must have been it. Must have been just testing whether or not I'm really ready to do this. What about you?
For me, it's more of a feeling again, because if it's second force, it's something I really want to do, and yet everything seems to be getting in my way. But I still have the same desire. I still want to do it. And with the stop, it's more like the desire goes away. And it feels wrong. It feels like this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This wasn't it, you know? It's more of a feeling still. It's with the second force, it's like I really want that, but something got in the way. And so I figure out a way to get through that, and then something else may get in the way, but the desire is still as strong or stronger. So I go more on the feelings, I guess. You know, like when we would go to an Edwin weekend, it's like everything that could go wrong would go wrong before we got there. That did not change my wanting to go.
Right.
So all those I felt like were second force to just say, are you sure about this, you know, or what if? Just to put more passion or more fire behind it.
I also have to check in with my guidance and ask, is this a no?
Right.
Or is this a test?
Yes.
Or is this a second force? Because I've had an instance when I still really, really wanted to do it, but it was a no.
Yeah.
It was not a second force.
Right.
I can remember the one time that I did not walk the fire. I really, really wanted to go. But it was an absolute no. And it didn't matter how much I tried to plow through it. It was a no.
But how did you know it was a no? Did you?
I checked in with guidance, and every time I checked in, it was an absolute no. You're going to get hurt. If you do this, you'll get hurt.
So it was a feeling or knowing?
It was a knowing. It was a knowing. But then I would have physical things that would remind me. Like, you know, before we walked the fire, like you said several times, you know, we walked around the fire, you know, because a body in motion is easier to stay in motion than when it's at rest. As we walked around, after I got the no, I decided to test. Okay, is this just me? Is it nerves? Is it fear? Is this a second force kind of thing? Or is this a no? And immediately after I asked the second time, I stepped on pine cone. And, you know, it was kind of a painful reminder. No, you're going to get hurt. Okay, now, don't play around with me. Like Edwina said a couple of times. She has to ask God. Now, don't play around with me. Be serious now. But I ask you again. And the third time I asked, I turned my ankle. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was I took that as an absolute no. Because every time I asked, something would happen that would reinforce it. This is not yours to do. The answer is no. But in that instance, I wanted to believe it was second force. I was ready to plow through. But every avenue I tried didn't work. So that's when I had to just admit that's a no.
That's a no. Yeah.
That's
I
an
think
absolute no.
I think it comes as a knowing. I think when you know it's a no, you know.
Mhm.
You know.
And when you read that on a bumper sticker, didn't you?
No.
When
That
you
was
know
good.
it's a no, it's a no. That's a bumper sticker, you know?
It's good stuff.
You're too funny.
It's a no. It's a no, you know. Oh, for me it is. I just know when it's a no.
You know?
Sorry,
Sometimes you crack yourself up, don't you?
I'm more cracked up if you crack it up and me crack it up. It's gonna be one
I
of
didn't
those
think
things.
it was one of these days, but evidently it is. When you know that you know it's a no, it's a no, you know? You know? Okay.
Okay, so second force.
That might be the second t-shirt we offer.
You know? So second force. I'm
Second
still a
force.
little cloudy because I still have trouble telling the difference between second force
Sometimes
and
it's
a no.
difficult for me to figure out whether it is or whether it's not.
She says in our old, how did she put it? I don't want to get this wrong. She says in the old fundamentalist church, that is what we call the no.
I can see that. I can see that. You want to see it as something outside of you influencing or saying, forget about it, it's not going to happen.
A lot of times we like to use second force as an excuse. Oh, well, I wasn't supposed to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Instead of just plowing through the obstacles and going on with what we know we're supposed to do. And sometimes it's just our fear. So I think sometimes the second force is our fear, which gives us excuses
Yes.
to not do things that we know we really
Yes.
need to do.
Yes. Yeah.
So sometimes I see second force as those kind of things. That everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Sometimes I think it's because we expect it.
Yeah. I also sometimes think my ego
Mm-hmm.
will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Will influence me to do something to keep me from that success. You know, a self-sabotage,
Right.
if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that as a second force. When, for some reason, like with our goal list, I know it really needs to be reorganized. I really need to sit down and look at it again. And as I was speaking to someone else earlier, it dawned on me that one of the reasons that I'm avoiding that, or think I'm avoiding it, is because I realized that the first one I went out to get, I regretted. Well, that was the problem. I went out to get it. I put it on the goal list and didn't let go of it. Decided I'm going to go get it. I want to see it happen. You know,
But that
I
one
ended
turned
up
out,
regretting it. I ended up
but it
regretting
ended up good.
It did end up good. But it also made me see I really need to reorganize this thing.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is maybe that was a second force.
But that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Perhaps that was my second force. That regretting ended up being the second force in that instance.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? It did turn out well. It didn't turn out the way I thought it would.
Right.
It didn't turn out the way you thought it would.
No.
We ended up fulfilling that goal on the wish list as a barter. Didn't expect it. But if we're going to look at second force, that regret became the second force.
Yeah.
In that instance.
Yes, I agree with that.
In that instance.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I can see other things that have been second force to that goal list too. You know. But I have to say that goal list, yes, it needs to be reorganized, but it's taught us a lot.
It has.
It's taught us a great deal
It
about
has.
where we are and where we need to be, and how we should set our goals and how we should look at things differently. You know, I've learned a whole lot just going through this process. It's not been a lot of fun in some cases, but it's been necessary.
Helps you get your ducks in a row, too.
Yes, most definitely. And
Yeah.
and it helps you to quit avoiding some of those ducks too. and to take a real honest look at what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to swallow sometimes, but it's what we need to do. The Bible says that we won't be given, I forget how it says it, we won't be given more until we can handle what we've got, And I realized that I was not being as good a steward or good a manager of what I have as I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got to make some changes. So it helps setting those goals to say, what do I need to change about me to get to this point?
Yeah.
Instead of, it's not just about, okay, I've decided I want this, I'm going to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can go do that, but there are consequences to that.
Right.
And unfortunately, we're seeing some of those consequences now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a real eye opener.
Really big eye opener.
The commitment thing has been the biggest help to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think along with the commitment, the yeses and the nos and the maybes, or the second force, have become more clear.
They've become basic rudders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've learned to discern where I need to go based upon, is it a yes, is it a no, or is this something I need to look at closer? If it's a second force or
right. Right. Well, and I think it's also helped me with focus. To say, okay, if I'm going to commit to this, I have to focus. And the realization that I have to quit starting something and not finishing it. That's leaving a lot more open loops and a lot more distraction than I need in my life to get what I want accomplished. And just waiting for God to take care of everything just isn't going to cut it.
No.
That I've got to decide. I love the word she says, here I am, God. Show me what to do and I'll do it. I'm your gal. And then she finally heard God say, here I am, Edwin, tell me what you want. No, I'm your man.
I'm ready to do it.
That hit home for me.
That spoke volumes, didn't it?
Yeah, because I do that a lot. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready. You just show me what to do and I'll do it. And then to realize that God's waiting on me. I'm the one that's got to drive this boat. I'm the one that's got to get in there and start it in the right direction.
Yeah,
he's waiting for me to do
I forget sometimes I'm the one driving this bus.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the side of the highway going, okay, God, where are we going?
Where are we going?
God's like, all you got to do is put it in drive.
Yeah.
And let's go.
You decide
but
where you're going.
We've got to put it in drive.
And we've got to decide where it's going to go.
And we got to decide which direction we're going.
Right.
And in order to do that, we got to set the goals. And even if, just like we've learned, even if we've got to do some reorganization, it's okay. We're going to learn what we need to learn along the way.
Right.
And then that's going to make them more attainable.
One thing I've realized, I think, the last day or so is that I've started a lot of things thinking, okay, if this is fun, I'm going to do it. Or, okay, if this is easy, I'm going to do it. And so I've started all these little things thinking, okay, I'll know if this is it. And never finished them when I really need to decide, what do I really want? And what do I really want to do? And then get determined enough to not let anything stop me and stick with it. I think you wrote in something the other day about courage, consistency, and commitment. And I got to think about that this morning. I think it came out this morning on the email, and I thought, that is true. That if we're not consistent, if we don't make the commitment to be consistent, just like with our emails, if we didn't stick to them, if we'd quit, then we wouldn't have seen the rewards that we see now.
Yeah.
But if we'd have gone based on what response we had early on,
we'd have quit this long time ago.
And I'm reminded of the picture of the guy standing there with the pick, and he's that far from
reaching the diamond line, right?
And he quits, just that close to the goal. So it does take the commitment and the consistency and the courage to get through to the end. Instead of doing what I've done and looking at so many different things, because that one just wasn't a huge success overnight.
Rather than just digging a bunch of little holes.
Right. It's because we keep on keeping on that we finally make a success. I truly believe that some of us, and I'm included in this, are more afraid of success than we are of failure.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's
Definitely.
the success that holds us
Definitely.
back and keeps us playing small rather than the failure.
Mhm.
You know, we're good at failure, or I am. You know, I'm a master at failure now because I've started so many things I've quit. You know, that I truly do have a habit of quitting what I start. So I'm breaking that habit.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Me too.
I need to get over
I
that.
spent part of today tying up some loose ends, and I'm going to finish today tying up loose ends.
Good.
Before I start something new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though I need to get to some of the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Got to tie up the loose ends. Otherwise, I am allowing myself, I'm taking away some of my focus
Mm-hmm.
and allowing it to stay on every one of those loose ends.
Right. Right. And they keep coming up and keep
Yeah,
coming
keep
up
coming
and
up.
keep coming up
Mhm.
until we do something about them. So, I've done the same thing the last couple of days. I think this has really, really been helpful
It has.
to me. Now, the next part of it, I noticed there's a 2-week thing in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't looked over it yet, so. But she gives us something new to do every day for 2 weeks, and so we're gonna
do
we're
that.
gonna honor that.
Yeah.
And it's 2
Yeah.
weeks of self-care and integrity.
Yeah.
So each day.
So
we'll
each
take a
day
different
we're
one.
going to take that and we will do that and report how it's going.
Right.
You know, because if we can't do it ourselves, then
Can't expect you to.
can't
Right.
expect you to. Right. So
Right. That's good stuff.
that's going to be really good stuff. I'm ready for 2 weeks of self-care. How about
Yeah.
you?
I could use that.
Woo-hoo. Good stuff.
Strange.
Shreen.